Boom, bow,
Bing,
bing.
Bong.
You already know what time it is. It's your boy Myles Hartzell, a.k.a. Big 38 Gold Holcomb.
Yes, sir. And it is MC4, but y'all know me as Coach Carey.
Mr. Dap himself up.
Yes, sir.
Off season. All men are created equal. Some just work harder during the off season.
Let's work.
And on this episode of This Is Me, we're going to get into a few things. You know, This Is Me has been a little serious lately.
It has been.
The last few episodes, we got a little serious.
Yeah, I think we got to loosen up a little.
Loosen it up,
Loosen up.
Tell a little bit about, what we got going on, but, have a little fun this episode.
Yeah, I like that.
Talk about our past of, what we enjoyed, but, let the people in on some of the enjoyment, It's, we're going to have some serious topics, but let's have a fun topic today.
I agree. Let's have some fun today.
First of all, we got to start off. You already know what's on the table. Shout out to my dude, Beckham Customs, We had the American Cancer Society.
Hearts
cleats,
Foundation.
that I did for the My Calls, My Cleats on the table. Appreciate my guy. Always gets it done. Always comes through with the good designs.
These are tough, though.
You know what I'm saying? He's tough with it.
Yo, wow. Beckham Customs, I might hit you up.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know why he would hit you up. He's going to get some coaching shoes,
Well, yeah,
customized.
My flag days are over now.
Flag days are over. We're not doing that
Achilles,
no more.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. But speaking of feet, have you seen the feet today?
They're better than the Vans.
They are better than the Vans. Let me show y'all real quick.
Better than the Vans.
Oh, wow.
Better than the Vans.
Hello? I mean, come on now. I'm making my steps.
You're making
strides in the right direction.
Baby steps.
Baby steps, right? Keep
steps.
climbing.
Like we said, 11s.
11s and ones.
11s and ones. Size
Somebody
what?
asked me today, yo, what kind of ones you want?
Size what?
10 and a half.
Is it 10 or 10 and a half?
Either or, I fit both.
Respect.
These are an 11.
Big behind foot. But definitely, we're about to get into it. So, my dude got the drip on today. Got the Pop Smoke on today.
What do you got on? Speaking of drip.
No, I got the high tops on. You know what I'm saying? I got the pearly white socks on.
Wow. The sweatpants are crazy.
Got the needle sweats on.
The hoodie, the Supreme.
The Supreme hoodie.
Took me 30 minutes to realize it was Supreme, too.
People don't understand it's drip.
I think the most important thing we got to talk about drip-wise right now is that hat.
The hat. You already know.
Not your average hat.
Go on and tune into my dude, Not Your Average Clothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got
Follow him on
drip,
Instagram.
Established 2020. We going viral, you heard? And my dude doing it big. Just got the website up. Going hard.
Hats, hoodies,
We in the
shirts.
street going hard. You already know the vibes.
Hey, yo.
Bing bong. But definitely. All right. So today's episode, I want to just, dive into the draft.
The draft. It's coming up.
It's coming up,
Couple weeks.
Couple weeks from now, I think It's probably going to be it's probably a month from now.
Yeah, probably a little less than a month right now. Under 30 days. It's coming up.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Draft is where people, go from $1 to $1 million.
Overnight. Like on spot. One phone call. Yo, we're picking you.
Kicks. But definitely it's a time where, lives change. People, you see the happy cries.
Yeah.
You see the family that's been there for the whole ride. But then you also see sometimes where you got somebody there, but they haven't been there. They think they've been there the whole time. Where you see those incidents where it's like CD Lamb, where his girlfriend took the phone. He's like, "Nah, we ain't doing that tonight."
Yeah, that was wild.
See, you got stuff like that.
Respect though. Respectfully.
But tell me something that you did as a kid during the draft. What was something that during the draft you always did that you enjoyed?
Okay. I mean, so the draft for me, I was huge. I loved the draft. Like growing up, my father, he was, he loved watching the draft. And about till 2010, the draft was on Saturday and Sunday. So it was, it was like a weekend thing. So it wasn't like as big and publicized. And like from 2010 on, it kind of just kept growing and growing. And in 2010, it was the first time they did it on a Thursday night, prime time. And I think that was the best move they did because if you look at it now, like the draft is huge. Like football has, from 2010 to 2022, I mean, football has grown exponentially. Like it is the biggest sport in America. It's worldwide now, I see all these other countries. But I loved watching the draft on like Saturday morning, the first round. I was a Giants fan growing up. I'm still a Giants fan.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I'm a Panther fan now.
No, the
my guy.
vibes.
But I loved watching. I loved the excitement that it brought. You saw all these guys that had all these dreams from a kid, and they're getting picked. And when I was a kid, it was like, yo, everybody. When you're a kid, everybody wants to make it to the league, and then you grow up and you realize, not everybody's built for the league, which is fine.
That percentage is true.
It's crazy, right? Isn't what is it? They say 1%
from high school,
and then 1% to college, and then
it's crazy.
It's crazy. But I really did enjoy the weekend. And to this day, Thursday night for the draft is so fun to watch. Mm-hmm. They make it the NFL does a good job at really making it fanfare. The fact that they have fans making the picks now, calling the picks now, that's cool. You're up on stage. I think they did the other year. They did it where someone was sitting in a chair like this, and then Goodell would say so and so got picked by so and so team, and then you see the fan, oh my god,
yeah, facts,
that's crazy. That's a cool experience as a fan, and being a fan that as a kid that would have been so cool.
Yeah.
Now for you, how did you did you grow up watching the draft? It was the draft a big thing for you?
The draft was never a huge thing for me. I never sat down and just watched the draft unless I knew somebody that was in the draft process or some of that sort. But catch the glimpses on ESPN afterwards. That was big. Watching the reactions of people, them getting drafted.
The reactions are awesome. You especially when you see them get that call. I like it when they're at home sometimes. Yeah. When they're at home and then the family.
They're comfortable, not in the setting where they got the suit on or they're uptight, and then. When you're at home, you see you're comfortable in your own space. You don't gotta worry about this guy. The camera's there, but you're not really worried about the camera right then. Mm-hmm. So draft it's big in any athlete's home,
of course,
obviously. But it wasn't that huge to where we were we got to sit down and watch the first round. We caught the glimpses of ESPN. We probably would watch maybe the first 10 picks. The draft is long.
Yeah, the draft
People don't understand how long the draft actually is.
It's hours and it's days.
I think the first time I watched the whole draft was when my line brother Ken Webster was getting drafted.
You were in college when that happened.
It was my going into my senior year.
Wow.
So of college. So we watched the first round. We knew he wasn't going first, second round. So then we drove. We were in Atlanta, in his hometown. He had a little party. And, we're chilling out. We're watching the draft. We're, drinking juice. Mm-hmm. Drinking juice.
The good juice.
The good juice. All of us there's 10 of us, his family. We're all in Atlanta. We're, dancing, drinking, watching TV, watching it. And then, the third round comes and all these rounds are coming. We're like, yo, he's going to get picked. He's going to get picked. We're waiting for him to get this call. We start eating. We say the blessings for the food. You could tell he was kind of worried.
Yeah.
But then, a few minutes later, he gets a call. And he's like, anytime you call someone, it's who is that on the phone?
Yeah, you try and look at the area code to see where the area code is coming from.
So then he got the call and he was like, yo, I just got the call from the Patriots. Boom. They're going to pick me at this pick. And it's not in sync with what's happening on TV. We got the call. He got the call maybe 40, 30 picks before or something.
Oh, wow.
It was some crazy. It wasn't.
So these teams are planning ahead.
Right.
Oh, wow.
We're going to pick you with this next pick. You're going to be a Patriot or whatever. Boom. He gets the call. And then finally, in the 2019 draft, goes across and his name pops up. We're like, oh.
And everybody goes crazy.
Oh, he's going crazy. He starts crying. Mom hugs him, this and that. I was like, yo, I can't wait to get in that.
And then, you said that was going into your senior year.
Mm-hmm. So then 2020 was my year,
Talk about that. Talk about how that day was, or those days were for you. I mean.
So I was realistic with myself, I played all 4 years at Ole Miss, started all 4 years as safety, corner, nickel.
Everything.
I played 5 different positions in an Arkansas game. 6 different positions if you want to count different sides of the corner.
Wow.
But
versatile. Versatile.
Play as many positions you can. They can't tell you what you can't.
I like that.
I got drip for sale.
Stamp that.
But I was realistic with myself. I knew I had all the tangibles. I was fast, physical, all that. But I wasn't a top 10 pick. Mm-hmm. I wasn't a first round guy. I wasn't a second round guy. I wasn't a first day guy, second day guy, maybe a third day guy.
Yep.
I was realistic, but I knew if I got the opportunity, I was gonna make the best of it. So first day I was just watching. I watched the whole draft. Watch people go. I'm like, yo, I'm excited. I got the butterflies because maybe.
Of course, you
maybe
never
a
know
team
when
messes
that's
up
gonna
and they
come.
call Myles Hartsfield in the second round. I'm like, maybe they mess up and call my
Maybe
name.
you never know.
So talking to my agent and all that stuff, it was cool. Third day, I had everybody over. I had yourself. I had all my friends here.
There was a lot of people here.
Yeah, just to see. You never know.
Hey, you never know.
Fifth, sixth round, seventh round. That name might get called. But the day goes by, you start getting antsy. You start feeling a little worry in your stomach.
That fourth round comes. That fifth round comes, and now it's like, all right, this is where, because you were projected. Did they give you any, like, how does that work? Do they give you a round, like, where they think you might go?
Yeah, they had me projected undrafted.
Okay.
So that's
so
why
that's why you were realistic.
I wasn't telling
with
people, I'm about to get drafted in the third round, and not happen. So I knew it was either going to be a late round or undrafted, because some undrafted people can bump up depending on who gets picked. Team might be like, yo, this dude's still on the board, and not pick you, so it gets you pushed back.
Okay.
So I knew, like, I didn't have a pro day. I wasn't invited to any combine. I wasn't invited to. I didn't have a Senior Bowl invite. Nothing. So I was like, yo, undrafted, cool. I still get to at least work out in front of a team.
So let me get this straight real quick, not to cut you off. No pro day.
No.
No combine invite.
No.
No workouts.
No workout
for any teams.
It was COVID.
So you were the COVID year. So now, being in the COVID year, not having a pro day, not having a combine invite, not having all this stuff, the Senior Bowl, the bowl game, stuff like that, and still making it going into year 3. Like, we got to clap it up for this guy right here. I mean, going into year 3, undrafted, no combine, that's something to be proud of. But come on, go talk a little more on like how that process was.
It's like anything else, you work for your whole life, and then, it can be taken from you in a second. You start combine prep in January, we're going through it. It's working out, every day. Saturday, you're off on Sundays, off, a little bit off on Wednesdays. You got yoga and stuff like that. But like, you going through it, it's cool. You grinding it out. You grinding it out every day. It's a different grind. You just trying to tell yourself, I'm working towards a goal. So I'm not really worried about what I'm doing now. I got this end sight goal that I want to reach.
Yeah.
Pro day was that thing. And then March, February came, you start hearing about COVID, this and that. Oh, somebody came from this country in California. You're like, it won't hit over here. We're good.
Yeah, we're good in Jersey.
End of February comes, some people start catching it over here. We're like, yo, what's going on? March comes, they're like, yo, stuff might get shut down. Then you see that, I think it was like, Rudy Gobert and all that stuff.
Yeah, when he started touching all the mics.
Yeah, and then as soon as that happened, and I think it was the NBA shutdown, everything just started shutting down back to back to back. And I remember I was at the Monmouth Pro Day, and, my pro day was maybe 2 weeks after. And I'm like, and then, you're there,
You were there watching?
Yeah, I was watching my boys that was at the combine prep and all that at test. We're sitting there, and these scouts are like, yo, this is the last pro day. They're making us get off the road. There's no more pro days for the rest of the year.
Wow.
So I'm like, what? And then, going at Test had the pro day at Test, did good there, videotaped it, cut out the clips, all that, so people can see it at least.
They live streamed that too, which was pretty cool. I remember watching that.
Yeah, it was cool, got the opportunity to do that, but, everything was shut down. So, draft comes, it was a different draft. It wasn't in person. It was on, Roger Goodell was in his man cave or something like that.
Everything was virtual.
Everything was virtual. Everybody was at home. There wasn't no in-house draft. So,
to go through all that and to then make it, I mean, that's not something that most undrafted free agents go through.
Most of the time that year was like people who were already on the team were going to make the team. You know what I'm saying? Even when I went down there, everything was virtual. OTAs was virtual. Minicamp was virtual. The only thing that we started was camp. I went down there, didn't have anything but camp.
Wow.
Then the season.
And everything was virtual in camp when you went down?
No, we were in person for practice and stuff. But we had to spread out in 6 feet apart in the facility. All that. So the NFL did a great job of keeping us safe. The Panthers took all the precautions of keeping us safe and testing, all that stuff to make sure everybody was good and everything, mask wearing, all that stuff. But it was a different time. Nobody was prepared for it. So going through everything, then going undrafted to the Panthers. Day 3 after the draft is over, you start getting those calls towards the end of the draft. Like, you get those calls from different teams like, yo, we want to do this. My agent's talking to me. I'm like, where are we going? I'm like, yo, we're going to the Panthers. I'm like, Coach Rule, I've known him since high school. I know I was going to get an opportunity.
That's all you
I
wanted.
needed was an opportunity. Opportunity to show what I can do. And
you were going to bet on you bet on yourself every day.
I was going to bet on myself. And, if it wasn't that team I made it for, I was going to at least leave an impression on somebody. Maybe they got a friend that needed another coach in somewhere else, and they're like, yo, this kid's can do something.
He could do something for you.
He can run down a kickoff at least. I was like, yo, I was going to be the best special teams guy ever.
Because, a special teams guy is going to get you on the roster. 53. Exactly. All you're thinking about getting in there is 53.
And, that year, I was up for Pro Bowl for special teams. Rookie year, it was something cool.
Okay, humble brag.
Humble.
You should be, though. That's undrafted, going through everything you went through, and then still being up for a Pro Bowl is something to be proud of.
Yeah. It was definitely a challenging year, I would say.
I bet.
Challenging. I was down in Charlotte by myself. We couldn't have fans, so my parents didn't really come. So, like, your rookie year, you're so hyped to get in the league, and I couldn't share it with nobody.
That's got to be tough.
It was tough, but, it showed me, like, who was really there, because who was really watching my games at home? Mm-hmm. Who was at the crib when I wasn't getting drafted? Who was here, like, yo, bro, it's going to be good. You're going to be good when you get down there. Don't worry, like, being drafted is just how you get your foot in the door. Mm-hmm. Those conversations, like, show me, like, who was really in my corner, who really believed in me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, going on year 3, OTA is about to come up, all that stuff. So, I'm about to ship back to Charlotte, grind it out with my teammates for a little bit through practices and, workouts and stuff. So
keep that up, man. Hey, one day at a time, work hard, and you'll be good.
But I want to ask you, Kane Spring Ball about to start.
Kane Spring Ball is about to start Sunday. So when this episode drops, I'll already be two practices in.
Tell us a little bit about your process going in, like the change from, high school you don't have Spring Ball because we're not in Florida. We're not. Mm-hmm. What's going to be the biggest change for you going into this Spring Ball? Like what time you going to be waking up? I want to know like a full day. What you doing?
So Sunday practice is going to start at 8:30, so it's not as bad. Practice structure, practice is already scripted out. I'm going over them kind of so I know what we're going over each day. I'm prepared. So we'll go through practices 8:30 on Sundays. But during the week, what kind of changes for me is that I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. So
wait, are you waking up at 4?
My alarm's going off at 4.
Dear God.
4 o'clock. Yep. I'm
still counting sheep.
Yeah, you're not a morning person. When you have to.
When I have to be, I will.
When you have to be.
When I have to be. But if I can sleep until 8, I'm good.
8's a good time.
8's a good time.
Well, I'll be up 4 hours before 8.
Dear God. How many coffees in?
I'll probably have 1.5 before practice starts, and then I'm going to need like 3 or 4 during the day to just keep going.
Dear God.
Yeah.
Caffeine going crazy.
So I'll be up at 4. I'm leaving the house at 4:30. Mm-hmm. I got to be on campus at 5. It's about a 20-minute drive. I want to get there early. Practice starts at 5:30. For me, I'm a part-time coach, so it's slightly different than regular college coaches and stuff like that because usually as a college coach, you're there all day, 24/7. For being at the level that I'm at, I have the ability, Coach Garrett gives me that ability, like if I have to go to work, I got to go to work. So I'll be there 5:30 to about 6:45, and then I got to rush back down here to work. I'll work, and during work, I'm lucky that I'll be able to watch practice film. So I'll kind of grade practice out, kind of put notes on the film for my guys. And then if they have time, if they want to meet with me, having virtual meetings with them is going to be a plus I think I'm going to do. It's not going to be a mandatory thing for them. I'm going to give them that option because I don't know what their class schedule is.
Right.
So if they have questions for me or maybe I have something that I want to go over with someone specific, like, yo, let's work on this, then I'll do virtual meetings with them because getting up to campus is going to be a little hard.
Right.
So thankfully, with all this Zoom stuff and the Google Meets, that gives me the ability to be there when I'm not there.
Right.
And I can actually meet with them while I'm at work.
Right.
So we'll have 4 practices a week, 1 on Sunday, 3 during the week. And it'll kind of it's going to be, I'm not used to the spring ball since I was at ASA. And ASA practices was in the morning too, so I'm used to. The mornings don't bother me. I'm good. I'm
not at 4 a.m. I don't want to hear nothing. It don't matter if you're a morning person or not. 4 a.m. is ridiculous.
4 a.m. is definitely early, but when you
love
what you do though,
No, bro. That ain't early. That's no. You should still be asleep. Nah, I don't want to hear 4:30. Nah,
But that's what's gonna separate us from everybody else.
is it? Because
It
I could do the
is.
same work at 4:30. I could at 5:45. That I could do at 8.
Now when you got different you got commuters. At Ole Miss, everybody's living on campus or living right off campus.
Facts.
We're a commuter school, so we got half the team that commutes. So we got to get there. We got to get them early. Then they got to go to class. A lot of them still work. So we got to do what we got to do where we're at, and I'm ready for the grind. It's only a month.
What have you been-
It's not every day. And it's not every day.
What have you been doing to prepare yourself to get up at 4 o'clock? You can't just wake up one day and be like, boom, I'm gonna start waking up at 4 a.m.
So I wake up every morning at 6 anyway.
Okay.
So the 2 hours is gonna be huge, definitely.
Yeah.
But as of recent, I've kind of set my alarms to 5. So I'm not necessarily getting out of bed at 5, which I probably should start. But 5 o'clock is that bar that I'm setting. Like, all right, 5 o'clock, at least get the mind up a little. Then I'll go back to sleep, and then I'm out of bed still at 6 o'clock. But I'm using my alarms to kind of get adjusted to the early days. But for me, I know myself, and then when football's around,
You're hyped.
4 o'clock in the morning, I'm let's go. Maybe not like crazy
That's
like
when
that.
Coach Carey comes in.
Oh yeah, that's when Coach Carey.
Not MC4. It's Coach Carey.
Yeah, Coach Carey different. He's ready for football at all times.
Yeah.
I was watching some film today, just kind of going over our install for week 1, just going over some clips, and I'm sitting there like, I need to get out on the field. Like I got to get out there, start coaching my guys. Like I love what I do. I love being a coach, but I love football. And yeah, 4 o'clock is early, but for football, I'll wake up at 3.
Yeah.
That's just it's how I was built from the time I was a kid to now. Like football always brought the best out of me. And is it a grind? Is it gonna be hard? Absolutely. It's gonna be hard for me. It's gonna be hard for my players. I'm not saying it's not, but it's worth it. I think that's the biggest part. Is I think when you love something as much as I love football, the time doesn't matter that you put in. The time that you wake up doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you do it because you love it. And if the love is kind of what I do it for, I don't gotta get paid $1 million to do this. I've done it for free. I've done it for minimal dollars. I've done it for $250 a week when I was in Brooklyn.
Dear God.
For the whole year, $250 for the week. But I loved it that much, and I was always willing to sacrifice for the game of football.
Respectfully.
It's not for everybody though. I ain't. Players like in the league, they say wake up at 5.
Nah, I get up around like 5:30.
Okay.
During camp, when camp's around, I'm up at like 5:30 because I want to, take care of my body because camp's a long time.
Yeah.
So being in camp, and then during the season, if we we have to be in there by 8. If it means at 8, I'm up at least 6:30.
What time you in the facility? You gotta be there at 8.
I live 2 minutes away from the stadium,
So you
6:30. I'm in the facility by like 6:45.
So you could walk there if you
I
wanted
walk
to.
there. I don't use my car.
Really? Save the gas. Gas prices.
Gas is crazy.
Gas is crazy right now.
I wake up, I put my coffee on, I go I listen to some music before I leave the crib, walk down, and literally it's the block over.
We might have to get you up to Keene for a practice. Maybe on one of the
I ain't
Sundays.
going up at no 5.
Maybe on a Sunday, come spit some game to my guys.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm coaching safeties. You're a safety.
The vibe.
We might have
best position ever.
We might have to set that up.
Let's do it.
If you with it, I'm with it. I'm sure Coach Garrett will be with it. I'll make sure I run it by him though.
Yeah.
I ain't the head man, so I gotta run it by him first.
Coach Garrett, we gotta get a This Is Me Hard Knocks or something like that.
Whoa.
Tell him.
I'm gonna talk to him.
Tell him.
He said he watches it, so he might see us talking.
Tell him
So
we gotta hook both you guys up with a mic. Then we have like video camera with people.
there's gonna be a lot of bleep, bleep, bleep.
Hey, let
When
the people get it dirt. As Donald say, dirty.
Shouts out to Donald.
Shouts
Not
out
your
to
average
Dirty
clothing. Go
D.
check that out.
You know what I'm saying? But so I want to ask you one more question, right?
Yep, talk to me.
Since you started doing athletic training at the gym, what do you say is some similarities and some differences that you will be doing at, coaching college and coaching an 8th grader or high school or college player in the athletic realm at the gym than coaching them on the field? What is some similarities and some differences that you can say?
I think, obviously the differences, honestly, similarity-wise, because I was going to say it was a difference, but the way I speak to them. I'm not changing the way I speak to an 8th grader to a college kid. Because for me personally, I'm going to be me. All right, this is me.
He said it.
This is Coach Carey. I'm hard on my players. I'm hard on the athletes that I train. And that's only because I care.
Right.
The biggest similarity I'd say is the caring. I'm going to care for every person that I coach, whether they're my position or not, the same way as I care about the kids that I train at the gym. Some differences may be along the lines of how I do it. I'm not going to change necessarily the methods on like how I do certain things, but coaching football is definitely a little different than training because I'm not necessarily worried about how my safeties are running. I'm worried about where they're running to. Right. How are they getting there? What's the quickest way they can get there to go make that play? Right. Whereas when we're at the gym, I'm really focused on how they're running, their form, the minor things. You're looking at the similarities. You're looking at little things on both of them to pick out because all the great ones that want to train, they want to be great. They want to worry about the little things that they're doing. Coaching college, any athlete that you coach as a football player, they're playing football because they love the game. They want to be great. Right. So I'm going to make sure that in college, I'm going to focus on those little things of this is going to make you the best safety, but at the gym, I'm going to make sure this is going to make you the best athlete.
Facts.
So I think that's kind of where I'm not going to necessarily change how I do it as much as I'm going to be me. I'm going to coach them hard and I'm going to love them up later.
What'd he say? This is me.
This is me.
You know the vibes.
Yes, sir. Now, are you excited? How are you? You excited for OTAs?
Yeah, man. You start getting those little jitterbugs.
Did you get them yet? Have you got the jitterbugs yet? Is it are we still a little far out? What's it, May? You got to go out there?
Yeah, I'll probably go out there. But, you don't start really getting those jitterbugs until, like, the actual football starts happening.
So we're
same
thinking
stuff
like
I'm doing now is the same stuff I'll be doing
when you're down there.
Working out, lifting, running, getting in shape, just preparing the body for August.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not really jitterbugs. It's just more of like it's gonna be nice to see the people I grind with.
Absolutely.
All the time. Seeing those people is like a refreshing sight because you forget that you're not doing this alone.
Because when you're here, you are.
Yeah.
You're training. You're getting ready to go back down there and play in the NFL, but you're not training necessarily with NFL guys here.
The only person I really train with every day consistently is Corey. Corey Tate. Shout out to my man Corey. We're going to get him on the podcast to talk about his basketball training.
Facts.
Corey's been the only dude, Zay and Dion here and there, but like Corey's been there every day, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, lifting heavy weight. I seen this thing on me. It was like when I put weight on, he's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Bro, you're no longer a basketball player. Like we're about to lift.
You're training.
And I want you to see how good of a basketball player you would have been if you would have lifted." So now he's like, "Yo, my legs. I like the way my legs look like this." I'm like, "Yo, yeah, we could have been doing this.
This could have been something that you didn't even know about."
My dog could still get out there and still rock out.
One of the best basketball players I've ever seen.
Hey, I was happy to be his sixth man.
I
was happy to come on the court, bring that energy. You know what I'm saying?
I
was not a good basketball player, but I was gonna bring that energy and harass their best player as much as
football player playing basketball. That's usually what the football players do.
All I knew.
If you was six
run
man,
around. I was Patrick Beverly.
Ooh.
That's who I was.
Did you talk that talk like Pat Bev?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm him.
You had that confidence.
I'm big 38.
Oh.
You know the vibes?
What was the number in basketball, though?
I think I was 21.
I shouldn't have asked. Never mind.
21? Little 21, maybe?
Little 21, little 21.
You know the vibes.
That's the basketball days. Those are the old days, though.
Yeah.
We'll leave the basketball to Corey and Jahiva.
Yeah.
And you handle that football stuff.
Exactly. Those are my dogs, though.
Shouts out to Jahiva. We getting on him on the pod, too.
JJ.
Jahiva, Corey, just know you're coming on. You don't have a choice.
But one of the other things I wanted to ask you, in the last 5 years,
okay,
we're going to jump back to the draft talk.
Okay, let's talk about the draft.
We're going to jump back to it. What was one draft class that you remember from the last 5 years that was probably your favorite and why?
Oof. See,
you can have two. I'll let you have two.
Okay.
I'm going to be nice today and let you get an option, but I'm usually not this nice, but...
So I think it was 2020. Was it 2020?
2020, like my year.
2020.
So like
2020.
Brown,
yes.
all them dogs.
2020. I like 2020 because we got Joey B, Joe Shiesty.
Joe Shiesty.
We got JT, Jonathan Taylor. Shouts out to Jersey. Salem, New Jersey. Second rounder, sleeper.
Jersey.
And then I think I'm gonna have to go. I think you convinced me. I might have to rock out with like the Myles Garrett year.
2017.
2017 was different. We were going down that list. Like, what do we
P.J.
got?
Watt went at 30.
Crazy. Defense player of the year. Crazy.
Like that.
Dang.
Cracked ribs, then
Myles Garrett.
talking his junk.
Myles Garrett. Who else we had that year? We had...
You had Jamal Adams. You had...
Dog.
Who else we have that year? That draft...
It was too many dogs in that year.
Too many dogs. Just in the first round.
So would you say that 2017 was yours? Favorite draft class?
Is
Easily.
in the last 5?
In the last 5?
By far.
2017.
Also, I think it's because they've had longer in the league to pro.
Yeah, there's more of
they have more film.
Yeah.
They have more experience.
Absolutely.
I think all the if you get drafted, you obviously did your thing in college.
Of course.
It doesn't matter if you went 7th round or first round. Because there's a bunch of players that didn't get drafted that don't play football anymore.
Yep.
So again, don't matter what draft class you're in, you got drafted at the end of the day.
You made it.
I can't say that I didn't get drafted, but I was undrafted. Shout out to my undrafted guys. You know the vibes, baby. We get it out the mud, baby.
Undrafted guys are different. It's a different mindset y'all gotta have.
You keep it
the
forever.
underdog. That's the underdog mindset.
It's the underdog. It's always underdog.
So 2017 and 2020.
2020.
I like that. I think in the last 5 years, I think you give Joe Shiesty a couple more years. I mean, in year 2, I think this is me being a Joe Shiesty fan. It's like year 2, he took his team to the Super Bowl. Came up short, but year 2, getting hit, the most a quarterback got hit in the league this year.
Yeah.
And still made it. That's why I go 2020, because of Shiesty. Shiesty's different.
He is surely different.
Get the gat.
I played him in college, and when we played LSU, that team was crazy. You had Justin Jefferson. You had Randy Moss's son. You had Jamar. You had Edwards, the running back.
Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah. You had Joe Burrow. Defense was crazy.
My boy Badara. Don't forget about my boy Badara.
You know what I'm saying?
Shouts out to Badara Chower. We might get him on the pod too.
Might need to. But that team was crazy. And we had them on Senior Bowl, and they just hit that gritty.
They just hit the gritty all over there, getting the gat in the locker room, smoking their cigars. That's a team. There's some documentaries on that team. That's a fun team to kind of learn about. You know what they had, where they were from the year before when they didn't really do that well, and then to have that year that they had. That is what college football needed, I think, when that happened.
If EA Sports comes out, you ever seen that clip of when they do the little behind the leg?
Oh, yeah.
That has to be the open. I don't care what. It's
gotta be.
If NCAA ever comes back.
And they go.
I said, oh my God, that joke was so fire.
Facts.
So fire.
I think, and again, I'm going to be biased. Joe Shiesty goes on the cover of college football if he comes back. We talking about the last.
College football hasn't been around since what, 2014?
NCAA?
And you're going to say Joe Shiesty is one of the best players since 2014?
I mean, yeah. His Heisman season was crazy.
In college?
I mean, who else we got?
Johnny Manziel.
Different.
In college was crazy.
You right.
What are you?
It's Johnny football.
No. Joe Burrow, don't get me wrong, was one of the best players.
Facts.
In a year. But you have players from 2014. Oh my God, that has to be a topic because you just
yeah, we might have to. Yeah,
you just said something right there.
2014.
No, I'm holding you to that you said Joe Burrow. No, you can't change your mind. I'm gonna bring in 10
Don't
players.
worry.
I'm bringing in 10 players that were.
Bring them. Let's go. Let's talk.
Are you crazy?
Let's talk. And this is maybe it's more because it's recent, but it was different. Just go watch the detail on ESPN when they break down his season. Wow. Don't get me wrong. I ain't going to hold Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football. Johnny Football is, they call him. Different. Arguably the greatest college football player ever.
All right, whoa.
No. I didn't say he was. That's not my opinion.
The most exciting player ever. It has the most views on YouTube for football, and it's Tavon Austin. I don't care what you say.
Whoa.
That was the best highlight tape of all time.
So what about Reggie Bush?
No.
Reggie Bush?
No. Tavon Austin's highlight tape versus one team. We could put on one team.
You are right. This is going to be a topic that we got to talk about because
that was the best.
We could have a list.
I could still watch that highlight tape right now before a game and be like, yo, I'm about to go off.
There could be a list of how different highlight tapes.
Austin's high school highlight tape. His high school highlight tape at Dunbar was crazy.
Dunbar in Baltimore?
I think so.
Different.
Tavon.
Yo, Baltimore football is nice. That DMV area is nice.
Tavon Austin is the most exciting. Him. You had what was it? D'Anthony Thomas
from Oregon.
Oregon. You had what was 24's name from 21's name from Oregon, the running back. Bro, you are missing some Marcus Mariota was like that in college. Stop.
Facts.
Still like that. Just got guys at the Falcons. Like, come on, man. Nah,
you're
not getting away.
You got Marcus Mariota over Joe Shiesty?
You said Joe Burrow. Remember this. He said Joe Burrow.
Oh my God.
Was the best player since the last NCAA was out.
I didn't say that.
I'm gonna come in with a list and I'm gonna post it.
I just brought his name up.
It is what it is. It is what it is. You said it. All
right, this is going to be talked about another time because we don't want to keep arguing for the people. But
it is what it is. You said it.
Damn. Oh, my goodness.
Look at him turning red. Now he's nervous.
I just turned red. I'm Irish.
Look at him. He's turning nervous. Because I'm Irish. But
this is good, though.
Yeah, definitely a good
one.
episode.
We got to come back to this topic, though. This is not over.
Let us know what y'all want us to talk about
please.
next episode. Cause
we need help because who should be on the cover if NCAA football comes back? It could be anybody that was from the time the last game was made to 2022.
Do you agree with Joe
Let
Burrow?
us know in the comments. Stitch the video. Send us what you think. But we need to know because this is going to be an argument that goes on for a long time.
I'm disappointed in you.
Disappointed. I'm disappointed in you. The names you just brought up after were nonsense.
Coach Carey, you can't be called Coach Carey no more. I'm only knowing you as MC4 because you're no longer a coach after that little topic, but I'm gone. Like,
this is it. Done. Thank you. Hey, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. We appreciate you. This is me. I'm one of your hosts, MC4. Y'all have a good one.
Off season. All men are created equal. Some just work harder during the off season.
Let's work.